Texas is going to go for a big swing here against A&M. They haven't played since 2011. Winner goes to Atlanta. Forget the fact that Texas is probably good even if they lose this game to go to the college football playoff. Like, this is one now that you want for every fiber of your being because of the fact that it's a rivalry game and you hate either side of this. There's enormous hate. And I'm not super pro hate kind of guy, oddly enough. But in the context of college football rivalry weekend, hate is a beautiful thing. Now, the thing I want us to unpack together here is my take on this game as we move closer and closer towards it. I think if you're Texas, offensively, you have had some moments where you see the offense look very Steve Sarkisian-like. Run the football well, that's great. Quinn Ewers kind of trying to find it a little bit. Some of it you say, okay, well, he was injured for a while, out of rhythm. I think Arch Manning needs a role in the game against Texas A&M. Now, here's what I did not say. I did not say Arch Manning's your starting quarterback, hand in the keys, Quinn Ewers, thanks so much, you're on the bench, brother. Did not say that. I'm also not suggesting that it should be a thing where Arch Manning and Quinn Ewers like rotate every 2-3 drives and there's some weird like quarterback controversy in the biggest game of your season at this point. Not suggesting that either. What I am saying is Arch Manning should have a role. Give him a couple of packages, primarily in my mind, quarterback run centric. I think that's the high tide that would raise all boats. Now, this is a tough topic to discuss because I've been the guy the entire time saying Quinn Ewers is your quarterback. I still feel that way. If you want to give Arch Manning the keys going into the Texas A&M game, which I don't think anybody is calling for, but you would forfeit all the experience you have with the guy who won you the Big 12, slayed the Dragon in Tuscaloosa, played a college football playoff game. Like, you don't really, I don't think, want to open yourself up to the potential of some growing pains. So we're going to try and discuss this in the most like level-headed way possible because what I'm calling for, again, is another layer to the offense where Arch Manning goes in the game, some quarterback design run game stuff, some read option, some inverted veer stuff with the jet sweep, allow him, obviously, a couple of passing plays off of that. But I love this so much for a number of reasons. Like, the first part of this is A&M, if you go watch their game against South Carolina, Arch Manning, different player than Lenora Sellers, but Lenora Sellers gashed A&M a few times on design quarterback runs. You don't have that with Quinn Ewers. Now, it's not Quinn Ewers, but the ankle injury plus just his play style in general, he's not a dual threat guy. So you don't have that on the table. When is it ever a smart idea to take something out of your game plan that could help you? Makes no sense. Also, it's wrinkle season, right? Like, I mean, if you don't think Steve Sarkisian has been in the lab all off season planning for just this game, putting things on tape to then zig when they zag against A&M, like it's that time of year where you throw in these wrinkles. It's that time of the year where you give your backup quarterback a couple of packages, get him in there on 3rd and short, and allow him to move forward for a big first down and get the crowd fired up. Well, not the crowd fired up because it'll be in College Station. Get the crowd back home fired up. Like that's what you have here in this spot. It's not time to go home with plays in the playbook or bullets in the chamber. Like you empty the clip, and I think emptying the clip is getting Arch Manning in the football game. I mentioned that too with the mobility of Quinn Ewers. He's already not super mobile. He's dinged up. Like, this allows you the potential of some quarterback run game in your game plan, which, again, I think would be an advantage to Texas. So I'm not calling for this as a way to, like, cut Quinn Ewers down. I'm calling for this to buoy the offense, and in a lot of ways it should help Quinn Ewers. Now, I will say this too. This is not a transitional move. This only works if Quinn Ewers is bought into the idea. Like, I have to believe this wouldn't happen. This wouldn't be the case, but, like, if Quinn Ewers doesn't hear about this idea until Thursday where they're going through their last practice, potentially how they schedule things during the week, that's not going to be a great way to go about it. This is a situation here where you help Quinn Ewers by giving something else to the offense. Now, do you help him by taking him off the field? Maybe you split him out wildcat-wise and you have some trick plays dialed in there. I don't know what it looks like exactly with Quinn Ewers, but I'm just saying it should be something that helps Quinn Ewers as well. It's not a thing where you take Quinn Ewers out of the game. Now, we do actually have to talk about this, though. With Quinn Ewers struggling, the unintentional benefit of having Arch Manning get some reps against A&M is the idea that, okay, you're kind of building in a little bit more of that emergency brake for your Texas offense. Because Quinn Ewers, let's just say that they are, gosh, I hate to even do this, but we're going to try. Let's say that Texas gets in there and they are down, call it 17-zip at half against A&M. Just roll with me. Say that happens. Say a big part of what's hurting them is the fact that A&M front seven is getting after Quinn Ewers and his ankle hurts, and he's not able to escape the rush, and just overall, like it feels like Georgia Part 2. And if you don't do something different, you're going to have some struggles. Well, if you've got the Arch Manning packages worked in throughout this game, in a perfect world, you're not throwing Arch Manning cold then into this game and saying, hey, Arch, need you to go play a little bit here for us. In a perfect world, he's kind of into the flow of things. You're able to get him a little bit more dialed into the game plan than he already was. Like it's a more seamless transition. So you don't do this for that, but it is, I think, an unintentional benefit of the fact that, okay, if things go crazy, if for whatever reason our Titanic is taking on water and we're sinking, it's a lot easier to tap in the guy who's gotten reps during the game as opposed to the guy that's like been holding a clipboard and wearing a headset for the entirety of the game. Catch my drift? So the Prize Pick square I love here. I think A&M and their secondary is a little bit suspect. Not bad, just a little bit ripe for the picking. They've allowed 50-yard pass plays in 6 of their last 8 games. Translation, Quinn Ewers, his passing yard total there, 237.5. We'll take the more. PrizePicks.com, code HARDCOUNT, $5 in lineups gets you $50 in promo funds. So again, by nature of me telling you I like that square, this is something that should ultimately benefit and bless Quinn Ewers. You take him out of the game, it's not blessing him. I hear you, but if it helps the offense, Quinn Ewers wants to win. Like I promise you, at the end of the day, Quinn Ewers wants to beat A&M. Now he wants to be a part of it. He's still a part of it in this equation. Allow your offense another gear, another layer, another level, another wrinkle during wrinkle season, and Arch Manning should, and I believe, I'll go so far as to say I predict he will get some snaps in this game against A&M, and it'll be in those design quarterback run packages. So we will watch with bated breath and see what Texas does there, but I think that's the move. I truly do.